Welcome everyone. Today we have a special Underlord tier list. There will be a two-part tier list. The first part will look at synergies. The second part will look at units. Let's go into the first part. On top of the S tier, just after the Dragons and Knights update, we have the Mages, the Warriors, and the Knights to be the top S tier of the synergies. This is because Mages are very strong in the mid-game, burst potential. Warriors are always strong with the armor gain, and with the combination of choices, with Hunters other choices, and the Knights is also a great frontline. Because of the new changes, the Knights do enjoy more complex defense mechanisms with the reduction from having 6 Knights or 4 Knights, and also by standing next to Knights, which are very strong at the moment. So let's go into the next part. We can see the difference between the top tier and the second tier. The second tier seems to be combinational units that combines into the first part. The dragons can go into mages, warriors, and knights because you only need 2 dragons now. We have tested, dragons are very strong. Similarly, hunters, heartless, warlock can also be combined into all of those builds. I mean, hunters and mages might seem weak, but with mana gain and with the stuns from Tide and Deucer can be strong. Polynomials and the scrappers are the goblins and elementals. They can be strong as well in the early game, mid game, even the late game if you find your 6 scrappers. Although scrappers did get a little nerf, we'll touch on it. While the polynomials can be very strong because of the tiny, which we'll touch on it. So those 2 are for the early game. Everything else works well in the mid to late game, also the early game. Followed by the top A tier, we have the A- tier. I have this particular tier because if you find the global items for those tier, they could be incredibly strong. But if you do not, they are a little awkward. First of all, we have brownies. 50 plus HP per kill with brownie is the global item we need. Secondly, we have the trolls. With the trolls, we want the troll global item. By standing next to troll, we get an attack speed boost. Followed by that, we have humans. We want the global item Fallen from Grace, which turns humans into heartless, which is undead, which amplifies the amount of humans we have. If you have seen our latest post, we have 6 humans or 6 undead mages. So 6 heartless plus mages. This is a scaled of the Nagas. This is to counter the dominance of mages and magic damage, which could be very strong because Medusa and Tide Hunter are too scaled, we can pick up very nicely for the late game. The beast or the savage might seem funny, but if you pick the savage, stacking up damage can be very strong. Simply because they stack indefinitely, and this is very strong in the early to mid game, which carries us into the mid game if we also get the savage part, which does more additional damage to the enemy. Give me a moment, let me get the window, guys. Yeah, we have the neighbors' kids outside at the moment. Followed by the savage, we have the sharpshooters, which are the gyros and the sniper. This can be very strong addition to the hunters, but I feel this is a little weak compared to the other ones, but I still want to highlight it because it goes well with the hunters. In the B tier, we have the assassins, evasive, we have the shamans, the demons, and the druids. They're not as strong even when you pick the items for them. Sometimes they're 2 item dependent or 2 build dependent. I feel those can be a slightly baitish, except the druids. If you find the druids early with global healing, they can go up to A tier and maybe even S tier. That's how strong they are. Followed by that, we have the demon hunters and the inventors. Yes, inventors down here because I want to highlight that inventor is very defensive. Inventors can be offensive if you find the explosion. If you find multiple explosions, they can go up in tiers. But before you find them, they're very defensive. And yes, maybe some of our friends will say, hey, why do you have Blood Bond down in the end? I feel that is a very strong build if you build around it in the early game. But once you get to the mid game and late game, if you get your 3-star Warlock or Ogre, they can be a little baitish. They do more damage, but it just doesn't feel strong enough. In other cases, most of us do ignore the Blood Bond if we're not building them, and they're not very versatile for the mid game or the late game. That's why we have them down here. The first part of the tier list shows us the alliance, which we do have the highlight of the mages, warriors, and knights on top of the tier with the latest update. The second part of tier list will show us the 1 cost to 2 cost units tier list, the 3 cost to 4 cost 2 units tier list for the mid game transitioning, and the late game 5 cost legendary tier list. So thank you so much guys for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more guides for Underlords and more great tips and builds for Underlords. Please also subscribe and follow to support me on Twitch. Thank you so much for your support so far. Thank you guys. Let me